Hello and welcome to the next Brainstorming with Chris. With me, Chris, from TGIK Games. Today we are doing a little bit of an update to the first-person shooter base defense game that does not have a name, but I was thinking about things to do with the AI, and this isn't directly to do with the AI. Maybe it is. I don't know how to classify it. But the idea is we're going to play around with a strategy that the AI will be taking and giving players a little bit of information. So here's the note. The note I wrote down was, would like to figure out a way to have players determine AI tactics during setup. So players would pick in secret and know part of the plan, but not all of the plan. So that's the note. And I don't remember everything I was thinking at the time because I wrote this on the 16th of May, which was almost a month ago, 3 weeks ago. So I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but we're just going to write it down and we're going to try and expand upon it. So figure out a way to allow players to set up enemy strats before gameplay begins. Players will pick in secret different cards that will make up enemy strategy. Now the first obvious question is, how do you implement this strategy without players knowing? And I think the obvious answer is you can't. So it's the sort of thing that has to come up over time. So maybe, all right, so we're just going to make this concession. Players will all, no. There is no real way to hide the strat to G from players in the long run. Or short run for that matter. Players will be informed of the strategy as it is revealed. Now here's the thing. This is what's going on in my head. I like the idea of, I know one of the bits of strategy or two of the bits of strategy. You know two and somebody else knows two. We know they're coming up, so we want to plan for that. But what if that strategy is completely opposite to something that somebody else knows on the table? So let's say, I don't know, maybe I know that 2 units will spawn in the north, or they're going to do a major push on the north side of the base. But one of my friends at the table knows that there's going to be 4 spots that push at the southern part of the base. Well, we want to protect both sides, but we have to somehow convince our teammate that this is important along with this, and then it can spread resources around. But there's some, it adds some level of background motivation, and it'll be the kind of thing where, what I don't like about it is that players could meta this and they could have their own kind of secret code when they're talking to one another and say, I really think it's important that we guard the south. Like, well, I think it's important, but not totally important that we guard the north. That could happen. And that might be something we talk about on the podcast, where how much player gaming your game can you really account for? I mean, this is an experience I have in mind, and that experience depends upon players playing the game in the proper fashion. Is that fair? I don't know. Leave a comment below if on your thoughts on that one, because it's playing the game by the spirit of the game or the intent of the designer versus playing the game the way that gamers can do. Like I've been guilty of it before myself, where you have a shorthand with people, and particularly when you're playing hearts or spades or something like that and you're bidding, it's the way you say things. If you've been playing with people long enough, and people tend to play the game, go to game night and they play games with the same people and over and over again. So it's a possibility. Anyway, enough rambling. Players will be informed on the strategy as it's revealed. Fair enough. What? Okay. These cards are dealt. Let's do a little bit of the mechanics of this. Try again. Up and there we go. Mechanics. Cards are dealt during setup. Depending on player count, players will pick cards in secret to determine points of interest for the enemy. So I think we're immediately going to have to ditch the idea of this being strategy and just do this as sort of more along the lines of these are points of interest. So there will be points of interest for the enemy, but they will also be scouting, which I believe we discussed the last time we talked about this first-person shooter game. Okay. These are the cards that will inform future troop deployment for the enemy. Okay. I mean, does it need to be any more than that? I mean, really, this is a 5-line note to myself. Do I need to inform? How much more do I need to add? I don't know. I don't think I need much more than this. Like I'm not feeling like really my goal right now is just to get this down. I'm not exactly feeling like beefing this up to a really full thing. But depending on player count, players will pick cards in secret to determine points of interest. Fine. These are cards that will inform future troop deployment for the enemy. That's fine. What else could they do? Do they need to do anything else? I don't think they do. And if they do, it's not being defined right now in my head. Okay. Well, then that's it. We're gonna call this done because let me check and make sure I didn't have anything. Next note is worker placement, which is not this game. No, I think that's it. I think that's the last note I have for this this particular game. Okay. Well, as always, if you have any comments, cares, questions, or concerns, please leave a note below, and I'll get back to you. Hope you enjoyed this brief little video today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.